walk around. Minnie, that's not a place to be. Welcome back, guys. Today on Tractor Doctor TV, we're going to go through this old baler like we just bought it. So we're going to kind of go through it like, kind of pretend that we just bought this baler on an auction and this is how it came in. So let's get started with that, guys. So guys, like I said, we're going to go through this baler like we just bought it or something. But before we get too far into things here, first I want to apologize for the wind. I'm going to move my mic to the other side. Maybe that'll help. But the second thing I want to talk about, guys, is we hit 1,000 subscribers. The last I looked, we were at 1,001, which is great. That puts us in a position to where we can possibly get monetized. I do need you guys to go ahead and please share the videos, and so we can get let's work on getting things back to the way they were before I hurt my foot so bad that I wasn't able to really do a whole lot. And then I got out of the habit of filming things for you guys. But anyways, guys, I digress there. So that means that we're almost to monetization. So you ask, what does that mean, Doc? That means that it kind of opens a humongous window for us. If we get monetized, guys, that makes it where it gives me money to funnel back into the channel, and that means we can buy new projects, we can finish a little more expensive projects that I haven't been able to. Every time I seem to be able, I thought I'm going to get the money squeezed together to buy the parts for that little C. I am going to eventually finish the poor thing, but like I said, this will be helpful in doing that. I can specifically use the money from YouTube to put it back into new projects and old projects to finish old projects and such. But otherwise, guys, let's get to this wonderful old baler. So let me tell you the story on this little old baler. This little old baler, a friend of mine, I bought it from him. He got it on a consignment sale, and the day he sent, the story he told me was when he bought it was he went to the consignment sale, and the day that he went to that consignment sale, this thing rolled in right before the auction started, and they consigned it. It was like field fresh. It was field fresh. They had just brought it in and dumped it at the auction and got rid of it. So my buddy got it really cheap. He paid like $150 for it. And then when I bought it from him, I bought it for $350, I believe. And when I got it, the flywheel here, it was stuck and it didn't want to do anything. Let me get you guys in a better angle. A little closer, maybe. Okay, guys, so like I was saying, when I got this old baler, that was stuck. It wouldn't even do that. I had to take a pry bar, a big pry bar, or I used one of our bigger crowbars, and I followed there's an arrow here somewhere here in the front of this thing. I'll show you here in a second. And that tells you the direction that the flywheel spins. So I followed that and I worked it over, and I took the cover off and I sprayed the channels where the ram runs, and sprayed that down really good, and kept working it until I could start doing, so I could grab it like this and struggle with it but turn it over, which was wonderful. And then I got that far, guys. The next thing I did with this old baler, the next thing I did was I changed the oil here in this thing here. I put brand new gear lube in it. And it looked like, it came out like molasses almost. It was black and sticky and thick, and it looked like it's been in there since the manufacturer put it there. So we cleaned that all out and we replaced all that. Then I went to work, guys, and I greased everything. I greased all the lines. I greased everything. Everything. If it had a zerk on it, I greased it. Which brings us to the knotters, which I'll meet you guys. Okay, guys, we're back here at the knotters. Then you need to do, when you get to the point that it runs pretty smoothly on its own, without you could like spin it over by hand, the flywheel over easily by hand, then you're ready to figure out where you're sitting at on your knotters. So here at the knotters, you want to wiggle the gear plates for the knotters and such, and make sure everything's spinning correctly, or working, or not wiggling too much. I mean, that's not much. That's just fine. Then you want to go to work, and you want to take these 2 bolts here off, and you want to work the knotter up and over, and then see if, make sure you can kind of check and make sure that there's a roller, and you can't really see it. There's a bit of a roller and such back here for what's back here is a knife that cuts your string off after it ties a knot, and you want to make sure that the duck bill is the technical term for the little thing that makes the knots. You want to make sure those are working okay, opening and closing just fine, which I think I'm pretty sure they are. But anyways, guys, you want to make sure those are opening okay, and you want to make sure everything's going to spin okay. You want to grease everything back here. The reason I believe, I'll move you guys to see over some, or check. Okay, yeah. The reason I believe they sold this old girl is the star wheel. When I got it, there was so much slop in there that when it put pressure on, and the bell was pushing through and put pressure on it, that this would actually turn. It would really cock to the side. It was really, it cocked off to the side really bad, to the point that it was dragging, and it wouldn't let it. As the bell went through, it wouldn't. It was just dragging. The bell would drag across it instead of spinning it like that, and on popping turning on the knotters and such. So that's the biggest problem I had with this old thing. I'm trying to get it worked into being ready to be used this fall. I'm wanting to try to bale some straw off of our soybeans, where we have bedding for the chickens and the cows and whatever else we need to put bedding out for this year. So that's why the reason I decided to take you guys through this, and I think I'm going to fire up the H, and I'll show you, see if we can show you the knotters doing their thing. So yeah, see you in a second. So guys, I was editing the video and realized that nothing filmed past the knotters, so I decided to go ahead and just kind of end it here. You really didn't miss anything past this anyways. I do have a little bit of a consignment, or assignment. Comment below if you feel like I missed anything, especially since I didn't film anything past the knotters. Or if you want to share a story about the first baler you bought, or something like that, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I'm always glad to read comments like that. Otherwise, guys, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you feel it's worth sharing, go ahead and please share it, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And when you're done there subscribing, hit the little bell, because that tells you when the next video comes out. And as always, guys, see you next time. Bye.